Hello and welcome back to New Year, New Game. This is where I attempt to play 365 games from my Steam library that I have never played before. This is game 191, Roadwarden. Roadwarden is a text-based RPG slash visual novel type game that, from what it says in the description in the video it shows, reminds me of like a choose your own adventure book brought to a digital format. So, without further ado, let's get into it. We marvel at the serenity of the forest and crave the shroud of its silence. New game. Everyone knows to stay away from the wilderness. Most people would never risk a lonely journey. Road wardens not only accept this struggle, they embrace it. They deliver messages, assist merchants, burn human corpses, and, if possible, get rid of the beasts and the highwaymen. They live on the road, die young, or retire early. It's a dangerous job, but a respectable one, and it pays well. I leave the safety of the city. I still have my doubts. Let's leave the safety of the city. Please select the different mode. This choice cannot be altered, so we go with a standard. For those familiar with RPGs, 40-day time limit, regular rules. The wall is still standing. There are no wolves around, no stench of blood. Good signs. This should be the place you are looking for. You are supposed to meet with a group of soldiers, but you hear no voices, no sounds of labor. The gate is ajar, but the camp isn't safe. It may keep away the goblins and pebblers, but not beast folk, nor trolls, and the night is near. Your palfrey breathless heavily. It had a long day. Could just look for another shelter. I need to look around cautiously. I dismount and sneak to the gate. Let's peek inside. Uh-oh, something happened. Your heavy boots hit the ground, and the pain of the long ride finally catches up with you. You stretch out, bringing your back and legs comfort. All you want now is a table, a decent chair, a nice mug of beer, and some warm stew. With any luck, your axe won't be needed here. I approach the gate slowly. If it's a military camp, it doesn't look the part. Plenty of wasted space. The fire pit is cold. 2 people are sitting at the table, tired and disheartened. They're looking in different directions, paying no attention to one another. One of them is holding a cup. After a moment, you notice the quiet humming. You recognize the melody of a light-hearted drinking song from the city harbor. You could just look for another shelter. I need to look around cautiously. They don't look like much of a threat. I can enter. It takes them a few breaths to glance in your direction. The first person greets you with a wave of his hand. There are bags under his eyes. His beard is messy. Despite his simple shirt, he's wearing durable, decent boots. A mace with a head covered in iron hangs at his side, but he doesn't reach for it. I take a look at the second soul. Just like you, she's wearing a gamson, but hers is a bit loose, as if she took it off a corpse. Her head is shaven, and if she's protecting herself from flesh-eating bugs, her eyes are weary, yet kind. She smiles. Considering the squad was sent here half a year ago, these 2 surely look the part, though there should be more of them. 8, you believe. I ask them about their lieutenant. You'll wonder how to phrase your question. Whenever you meet new people, you can influence how they perceive you by selecting one of the attitudes. You got friendly, playful, distance, intimidating, and vulnerable. It's too friendly. I was hoping to meet with your lieutenant. Could we talk for a bit? The woman lets out a loud sigh, dusts off her gambeson, and steps towards you. She pays little attention to the sword at her side. We most definitely can. You and I? Tough holding this rank is still somewhat new to me. Are you a messenger? Did you lose your mount? She observes you with curiosity. Or are you looking for help? I'm your new Roadwarden. My horse is waiting outside. Really? The soldier in the shirt leans forward. That explains how you got here in one piece, all by yourself. Better bring your beast here, adds the lieutenant. We have no hay, but I bet it dreams of dropping its saddle. A long pause. I'm Tula, by the way. As she reaches out her hand, I shake her hand. It may be a trap. I gesture for her to stop pretending to be embarrassed. I should wash myself first, but you can call me. I shake her hand. Leto, there we go. We're Jared Leto. Confirm. It's Morven time. Yeah, that's how that meme goes. Her grasp is confident. The shake is slight. Just keep your horse away from the tents. She steps away. We don't need to smell its dung. Ah, there's this one issue. The soldier in the shirt also rises to his feet. We've no tent to spare. You'll have to use a blanket or something. No problem, I enjoy observing the stars, or I should get used to sleeping on the ground anyways. You walk through the gate. Your mount looks around and snorts anxiously. Not many humans could ride a horse. It's not only taller than you, but also bulky, as heavy as it is strong. You can get in the saddle within a single breath, but most people wouldn't know where to even begin. From every side, it's a wall of flesh. Horses were brought to the Dragonwoods from the conquest in the south. They can trot for a long time, but won't outrun some of the local monsters. Your play-free needs you to survive, but without it, you too would be lost. Hail-free? It's my only companion here. I wanted to feel at ease. I don't care how it feels. I need to be strong. Let's do this one. It's my only companion here. I wanted to feel at ease. It takes a few steps toward you, scolding you with another snort. You scratch the bottom of its neck with strength and confidence, just the way it likes it. Humans see useful animals, and even pets, as monsters in disguise. Getting emotionally attached to them is believed to lead humans to their doom. But you know the horse need companionship. Oh, that horses need companionship. I speak to it gently and lead it to the camp. You end up next to the fire pit. Removing the saddle makes the horse nicker with relief. You take a couple of minutes to examine its back, just in case. While the riding equipment is not the heavy for such a strong animal, that heavy. With enough time, it starts to chafe. You wish it had something better to eat than this shabby grass. You should look for an inn to unpack. Fighter, mage, scholar. I only get to pick. You haven't brought that many things, and you lost one of the sacks while fleeing the Crimson Corpse Eaters. Worst of all, you have no rope left, but maybe the soldiers could share one. Shouldn't cost more than a dragoon bone. Dragon bone. Dragoon. Not dragoon, that is dragon. Aside from the travel set, you own a few valuable possessions, essentially for your trade. Fighter, I spent my savings on decent combat equipment, have a fine gamson, an axe made of steel, and a reliable crossbow with quarrels. Mage, I have a talisman that helps me use my powers, as well as an iron axe and a worn gamson. Scholar, I carry writing instruments and alchemic ingredients, as well as an iron axe, a worn gamson, and a healing potion. Or fighter. Taking hits will damage your armor. You can fix it in various settlements. You unpack and inspect your belongings. Your water skin isn't pierced. The spare clothes are still here, just in case. You take I can't see anything here. You take a look at your wooden bowl and mug, your cape, tinderbox, bandages, food rations, knife. Nothing special or too cumbersome. From time to time, your routine helps you avoid mistakes, but this doesn't make it any more exciting. So it shows me all my different supplies. Food rations, merchandise is a pouch with coins, our Gavinson padded defensive jacket made of linen filled with rags. It's the cheapest type of armor, yet surprisingly effective, and as a result, very common. Travel set, a crossbow with 3 shots, and a well-crafted battle axe. Return. I return to the soldiers. They're at the table again, observing your beast and chatting between themselves. Your stomach growls at the sight of them eating out of a wooden bowls. One more bowl was put at a previously unused end of the table. You can sit down on a tree log. I join them and take a look at the meal. I thank them for the meal, but I don't want to eat with them. I sit down and ask Tula what she can tell me about this area. I completely ignore the meal. I sit down and speak to Tula. Let's do this one. Join them with the meal. Keeping your stomach full will make you stronger. Starvation won't allow you to restore vitality while resting. You can find your supplies in the inventory. Now we got a little hunger bar. It's cold gruel, the meal eaten in times of hardship. This specific bowl is filled with water, hog millet, some strange-looking cereals, and blueberries. Welcoming you with a meal, even a humble one, is beyond their duty. Soldiers live with and for their companions, constantly on the move from one part of the realm to another, making sacrifices to protect their group as they face dozens of hideous creatures. Their lives are filled with discipline, hardship, and camaraderie. Roadwardens, on the other hand, learn how to work by themselves. They seldom engage in open combat, patrolling the same roads for years. They help the settlement stay in touch, but also maintain commerce, settle down, forge friendships. When there are no laws to follow, they use their own judgment. Different responsibilities, different lifestyles. They eat quickly, not focusing on the taste, then speak with Tulua. Hey, went up one. She's focused and chooses her words carefully. She looks away only when she gathers her thoughts. I'm afraid I can tell you less than I would like to, and less than I should. She nods towards the other soldier. As you can see, there's not a lot of us left. At the beginning of summer, there were 8 of us, including our previous lieutenant. 5 are dead. 1 has run away in tears. We're also strangers in this land, adds her companion. Any piece of information may help me do my job. The man leans forward, his legs shake nervously. He sounds like a kid asking a bard to sing one more story, tell a joke, or do a magic trick. Whatever it takes to escape from boredom. His untrimmed beard hides a much younger face than you originally thought. What did the officials tell you? I expect not that much. No soul governs these lands. I share what I consider to be relevant. What I've discussed with the officials should stay between me and them. So just give them whatever relevancy the discussion has. You tell the soldier how little guidance you've received, since this area is too far away from Hovalavan to keep it under control. You were warned that it's untamed and unknown. Who knows how many villages, bandits, or monsters may be found in these unmapped hills and forests. From time to time, new people come here to look for boundless opportunities. Most of them never return. Do they turn into walking corpses, or find what they're looking for? No soul could tell me, so I was looking for your guidance. The lieutenant drinks from her cup and crosses her legs, ankle on knee. Seeing her chair makes you doubt she'll ever find a comfortable position. Where should we start? Oh, I made Google go. What should I know about the peninsula? Any ideas? What happens to the previous Roadwarden? I've lost my rope. Could you spare one? What happened to your squad? How did you become lieutenant? What was your squad's mission? Anything I should know about this camp? Or if you were me, where would you go next? In my journey, I need to ask them about the peninsula, the Roadwarden, and the rope. What should I know about the peninsula? I'll tell you what I know, and you'll be the judge, says the lieutenant. How long did it take you to get here from the city? On a decent palfrey, I'd guess it would be 3-4 days. When you confirm, she continues. From here, you could reach the coast in about a day, as long as you don't make any stops. Do you know the situation? Why no ships can get here? You nod. The sea route allows Havalan officials to keep in touch with the coastal villages, collect taxes, move the soldiers, collect lumber, deliver tools, but maintaining order on a wild coast such as this one is like filling the ocean depths with coins. Because of the rocks, you can hardly stop a ship 5 miles from the shore, and boats can't get much closer. She nods. I don't know much about fishing, but there's not that many people living by the shore, and they don't crave to stay in touch with the city folk. As she pauses, her companion carries on. No soul from the north ever came to the camp, but when we travel to the roadside end, Pelt of the North, they're happy to trade and to play dice. Why not just stay at one of the settlements? The man clears his throat. I mean, you know, we're to guard this road. This camp is our post. And, well, he turns towards Talua. She lowers her voice. Don't take it the wrong way, Leto, but are you a devoted soul? Like most city folk, I believe that people should unite their strength to overcome the threats of nature and dark magic. Everyone will be judged for both good and evil deeds. I'm part of the United Church. Let's see. For many years, I've supported a monastery that does its best to advance mankind's spiritual growth, artistry, herbalism, and magic research for all the teachings of an order of truth. From a small village, for me, my freedom of shell, phenoma, and soul are the main virtues of life. My community is unique and independent, and so are its members. I have a place in my fellowship. I have a strong connection to nature and spirits and follow the path of my ancestors. Some of my beliefs may be considered sinister and treacherous by the city folk. You'd probably call me a pagan. There's no evidence of the right's existence, and all the mystical tales are explained by magic. Let's do this one. A pagan Roadwarden. The man scratches his head without the slightest subtlety. Now, I'm sure we can have a conversation. We're civilized people. The lieutenant clears her throat. I'm from the United Church, but I'm not a priest or anything, and definitely not a zealot. An awkward pause. The United Church has spilled the blood of countless pagan tribes, making it clear that who's not with them is against them. Your family shared gruesome stories about the atrocities committed by the priest against your ancestors. Sure, I'm not looking for squabbles. The people here are disquainting. Every few words, she taps the table with her fingers. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with the officials here. She starts to draw lines with her index finger, as if she's pointing to an invisible map. The peninsula is connected with roads, like a big circle. In the northwest, you'll find a weird village at a bog. It's not exactly pagan, I don't think. It even has a priest who claims to be an eremite. You nod. She means a fellowship. They do crazy shit, her companion chips in. They use the dead to cut down trees and dig in soil. Once I saw it, I begged to never return there. I see. You've heard tales such of this one since you were a child. If an isolated settlement manages to survive without a city's influence, its customs and traditions grow more and more alien. Every generation learns how to adapt to the dangerous conditions. They have to deal with the rustic, pagan traditions muddy their river of faith. The United Church often warns its members about the crazy druids, necromancers, and blood mages, the bringers of doom, the traitors of humankind. Are you able to speak with these necromancers? And how about the East? Any monsters worth mentioning? Anything that could catch my mount? Let's do that one. We saw all sorts of beasts. The man starts to count on his fingers. Goblins, trents, cats, large and small, runners, howlers, wolves, spiked boars, dolphin eaters, griffins, but we managed to stay away. Some could catch up with most mounts. Tallulah glances at her companion, though a palfrey should be fine. The trees are so tall that the flying creatures keep to the coast and mountains. There's not that many humans around, and the animals are busy fighting among themselves. They fight more for food than territory. The soldier cracks his knuckles. Don't provoke them and ride fast. Just count on luck. We're able to speak with these necromancers. You can see why we were not eager to go there if we could avoid it, Lieutenant chuckles. Maybe they'll be more welcoming to a Roadwarden. The roads are dangerous, with little to no shelters. People need your help. The man in the shirt turns a bit and points a finger to the northwest. If you're heading to the undead village, you'll get to an inn first, and soon. Tallulah nods. Pelt of the North is a safe place. You can talk with the innkeep or the guards. Ask them about the road. And how about the East? She stares off across the camp. Hard to tell. We went there only once. There are hills, forest, rivers. We saw a tunnel sculpted in leaves and branches, but we didn't enter it. Wilderness all around. That's all I need to know. Lost my rope. Could you spare one? You're in luck. She heads towards one of the crates and moves aside a large linen sack, revealing a rope. She brings it back and nonchalantly sits down on her chair. Take it. I was planning to leave it behind. I take a closer look. A fine rope. A regular rope made of hemp fibers. Buy for 0. I take it and offer some food in return. How about we don't do that, we'll just buy it for 0. Any idea what happened to the previous Roadwarden? Tallulah takes a deep breath. Aren't you a bit late for a rescue mission? We haven't heard from him for almost half a year. The soldier speaks for a bit between themselves, trying to get their story straight. They confirm that he had stopped by their camp a few times, but stopped showing up at all in early summer. The bearded soldier starts to scratch the table with the tip of his knife without looking at you. I don't remember his voice. Always busy, drowning in things to take care of. He would sit somewhere, sharpen his sword, fix his loud mail, clean clothes, write notes on the wax tablet of his. Yep, and leave it dawn, unlike us. Astrion never gets bored. Tallulah lets out a joyless chuckle. He's secretive, but some of the locals speak about him warmly. Maybe he just doesn't like us. Sounds like you're not sure if he's dead or not. If anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone is keeping him in a basement. The man carves with passion. We haven't seen him or his Saurian. Is it Saurian? Something ate them, I bet. The officials have hired you, right? They don't expect him to return. Richer roadwardens often use four-legged, meat-eating saurians as their mounts. They have to be tamed and trained since they're hatching, but unlike horses, can easily defend themselves from any monsters. At least your palfrey is fast and reliable, and won't suddenly sink its teeth into an innocent passerby. Do you know what he was looking for? Maybe he left you a message? Neither one of us had any insights into his dealings, says Tallulah. My predecessor left me no clues. We also took a look at Ashton's stuff. Wait. She raises her open palm. I almost forgot. She stands up and heads to a nearby tent. He has kids in a village near Hovland. I was planning to take all of his things there. A pouch, a second spear, a decent bow, some potions. Quite a treasure. She glances at you, but I would much prefer to bring them the truth about their father. So you want me to find out what happened to him in exchange for his stuff? Here's the catch. She dusts off the hilt of her sword. We've hired a messenger to ask the commanders for further orders. Since she hasn't returned and you know nothing about her, she either ran away or something happened to her. She sighs with resignation. We are meant to stay here until fall. What do you think? Come see us. Tell us what you've learned about the man, and we'll get back to Hovland together. Together? You think about your real mission. You were planning to return to Hovland in the early fall anyway. If he's alive, I don't think he's going to be happy about me taking away all of his possessions. True, but he's considered dead. I doubt he'll begrudge you anything. And who knows, you may just find his shell lying on the roadside tomorrow. He wears mail, uses a spear, mostly. Maybe 5 feet tall, but stout. Long, red beard, short hair, pale face, rarely smiles. Sounds like he's a dwarf. She glances at her companion, but after he adds nothing, she sits down and stretches out her legs. So find out what happened to him. Dead, alive, left. Just let me know. So that has been a Roadwarden. It's just a text-based RPG adventure. You pick and choose your own path, I guess would be the thing to say. I don't know if it's really a linear thing. I'm sure at some point choices and actions that you take will affect what happens to you in the future. It's a pretty fun game. Personally, I don't see myself, however, coming back to play it again. Just for the fact that I like RPGs that I can actually play, as opposed to ones that I can read. So, that's really the only reason. Somewhere out there, though, are people who like to read text based adventures and go through things like that. Use their imagination of what's going on and what's happening. I am not really one of those people. So, I'll still give it a thumbs up because it's not a bad game. It's very well put together, and it does what it says it was going to do. So, yeah. Anyways, that's going to do it for me. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next game. Goodbye.